And they can tell you exactly where they were, the time of day it was, who they were with when they made up their mind to change. This happens thousands of times in our research. The person says, I'm making up my mind in this moment, and they make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that causes their body to respond to their mind.
Welcome to Infinite Unlimited. We are delivering the most inspirational ideas to reach your potential as an infinite, unlimited being. Please help this channel grow by leaving a like and subscribe and hit the bell button, so you won't miss any new videos. Enjoy.
The greatest challenge when we have strong emotions that are stored in the brain and body is it's very difficult to think greater than how we feel. I think that is the challenge. And feelings are a record of the past. So the person, if they can't think greater than how they feel, then they can't see a possible future, because they're looking at that future through the lens of their past biology. And so the best thing for a person to do if they're truly committed to change is to really understand what change means, and really understand that there's a biology and a very specific explanation of what change is. Okay, so the person says, I didn't create this reality. Okay, you didn't create that reality. I didn't ask for the life that I'm living. Okay, you didn't ask for the life that you're living. Okay, I didn't pick these parents somehow. I was born into this family. Okay, great. So now what? If our excuse to change is really, it's that person or that circumstance or that past that's really making me feel this way, you can do that for a while. But if you start reading and learning and filling your brain with knowledge and making new connections in your brain, you got more raw materials to start thinking about new possibilities. Now, that's what information does. Information, every time you learn something new, you're making thousands of synaptic connections in your brain. Repeat it, review it, think about it, talk about it, share it. And those circuits begin to create long-term connections called memories. And now you're adding more three-dimensional stitches into the tapestry of your gray matter, and you're building information to see that there are other ways to live. Now, you pick up a book on someone who's had trauma, and they turn that trauma around and they live their life in joy, and they see it differently, and you're picking up and relating with the story, and at the same time you're realizing you're identifying with this character, and if they can do it, you can do it too. All right, so now the possibility exists. Okay, now the person really who truly wants to be happy says, I can't live in my past any longer. Okay, I understand that. I know it's hard. And I know I'm gonna default back to my old personality maybe 10 times or 20 times or 100 times in one day. And that's okay, because if I'm alive tomorrow, I'm gonna try and do it better the next day. I'm not gonna think, act, and feel this way. So how many times do we have to forget until we really stop forgetting and start remembering? How many times do we go unconscious in our waking day that we have to stop going unconscious and stay conscious? So the person who no longer wants to be, and I hate to use this word, victimized by their life, but excusing themselves from the possibility that there could be an alternative way to live, a new life to live in. The person who excuses themselves that way is because they can't imagine a new life greater than how they typically feel. And of course, it takes trauma or disease or diagnosis or loss or betrayal for the person to be so knocked out of balance that they finally say, I have to change. And they can tell you exactly where they were, the time of day it was, who they were with when they made up their mind to change. This happens thousands of times in our research. The person says, I'm making up my mind in this moment, and they make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that causes their body to respond to their mind. That the choice that they're making in that moment in time is a moment in time they will never forget. In other words, the stronger the emotion they felt when they made that choice, independent of what was going on in their environment and their life, the more they'll remember the choice they're making. That's what emotions do. And that gives the body a sampling or a taste of the future. They're changing their state of being in one instant. So the person then who says, okay, I'm going to try this out as an experiment. I'm going to practice the process. And is it possible as an experiment, if I take a little time out of my day and I change the way I feel and I change the way I think, and I'll read a book and I'll practice how to do that, let me see if I could actually get happier. Not that I need anything to change in my life yet. I just want to see if I do this, I knee-jerk less in traffic. I don't judge my best friend as much. I don't rush through a meal because I have to hurry up and clean up the dishes and put the kids to bed and get 1,000 things done. Let me just see if it works. Just if I could just try it out as an experiment. The majority of people who give up their past and the emotions and memories of the past and start reprogramming and doing things differently in themselves in the future report back almost 100% of the time that they start noticing these synchronicities, these opportunities, these coincidences. Something is coming to them. Something's changing in their life, and nothing is changing except them. Now, this is the experiment called life, because when you see the synchronicity, when you see the serendipity, when you see the coincidence, when the opportunity shows up, you're going to start thinking, oh my God, I was changing the way I was thinking and feeling, and it's producing these effects in my outer world. Oh my God, that moment is no longer you thinking that you're the victim of your life. That's the moment all of a sudden you start realizing you're the creator of your life, because things are out picturing in your world equal to your change in thoughts and feelings. Now, the person who does this, the surprise of the event, I swear to you, does not create fear. I swear to you, it doesn't create hostility or anger or hatred or resentment. It tends to create this kind of joy, this kind of excitement, this kind of change in energy. The person is waking up. Oh my God, I'm getting feedback from my life. Now, the moment they get feedback from their life, they're going to pay attention to what they did to create that feedback, and they're going to do it again. And all of a sudden, here come the better opportunities, the synchronicities. And the person starts feeling a different emotion, and if they're feeling a different emotion from the synchronicities in their life, they're going to think less about their past and their traumas, because they only go back to those memories of the trauma when they feel the emotions from some trigger or some circumstance in their life that caused the emotional response, and they have no idea that they could actually change that. Give the person the tool on how to change that, and you hang out with enough people that are doing the same thing. We have events with 1,500 or 2,000 people, and everybody's got a story. Yeah, and you know what? You can't tell me now. You're too old to do this work. You can't tell me that. We've measured elders' blood, their brains, their hearts. They know how to. You can't tell me you're too sick to do this work. We have people with stage 4 cancers that got the prognosis they weren't going to live more than a month. They are completely cancer-free. People that were blind, that were traumatized from birth, traumatized from childhood, that are seeing again because they overcame the trauma. So you can't tell me how you had a difficult past, because we've had people that had some brutal pasts and turned it around. So there's this kind of amazing thing that starts to happen when we try out the experiment and we feel these elevated emotions. We won't be thinking about the past, because those emotions are causing us to enjoy the present moment. Why would we want to leave the present moment? It feels too good. And so we teach people how to create this balance and coherence between their heart and their brain. And when there's this elegant dance between the two, the person becomes very relaxed, not relaxed like they want to sleep, but calm and at peace, and very awake and very aware. They're not in the familiar past. They're not in the predictable future. They're actually present and relaxed in the moment. And so then The job then is to be able to get so good at that with your eyes closed that you could actually do it with your eyes open in your day. That's the challenge. So I think it is a worthy conversation, but I can tell you from my own experience and our own research that enough people have made those changes when they start experimenting with the process.
I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have learned something new or just want to share your thoughts about this video, please leave a comment. Until next time.